We left off back in part 1 of Future Gohan on the hyperbolic time chamber with everybody, and now he got the opportunity to meet his father Goku. But we have to now decide who. Alright, to start the story, Gohan has finally met his father Goku, but Piccolo interrupted everyone to tell about a new villain named Cell that is stronger than everyone here. They were very shocked, but Piccolo had a very confident face in where he could beat the androids with his current strength. So he told everyone that in order for us to beat the androids and possibly Cell, we are going to have to train. So I want Future Trunks and Vegeta to train together. Vegeta thought it was a fine idea. He said it was an okay idea, but as long as he was able to fight first before Kakarot, that only mattered to him.
Tomorrow.
About 1 day later, the very next day, the 1 year's training inside the hyperbolic time chamber has now finished. Trunks and Vegeta have now came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, finished with their training, much stronger. They have probably at least quadrupled their strength, maybe even more. They should be able to beat the androids. Meanwhile, the problem was Piccolo wanted to fight Cell, but his strength was not enough and he was beaten very easily. Vegeta finally said that I'm going to take care of the Cell myself. I will fight him alone. Goku thought Vegeta was crazy, but Vegeta was very confident and was actually going to beat Cell. Vegeta goes down to the battlefield to meet this new ultimate android that everyone seems to fear. Vegeta finally meets Cell and is about to start. He powers up and he has now went to Ascended Super Saiyan. The fight goes pretty well with Vegeta getting the upper hand. Cell can barely lay a hit on Vegeta. It is almost like Vegeta is going to win and the universe will be saved, and then Vegeta can finally get his revenge on Goku. Of course, the story goes for pretty much the same, with Vegeta getting his karma, going to the ground, gets knocked by Perfect Cell. Cell finally announces the Cell Games, a new tournament that he is thinking of 10 days from now. Everyone was very ready and ready to train for the next 10 days. Goku has already done training with the present Gohan, but Future Gohan has just been sitting in the outside of the lookout. Future Gohan thought it was a terrible idea that he has not got any training out of this at all, and that Goku hasn't gave that much attention to Future Gohan, but that was not the case. Future Gohan decided to go into the hyperbolic time chamber and train with Piccolo because they wanted it was teacher, like the pupil and the teacher, of course. But anyway, to continue, Future Gohan is still waiting outside with everybody, with Tien and Yamcha and Krillin and Piccolo and etc. Future Trunks tells Goku about the tournament, but Goku seemed to already know it because he was able to feel Perfect Cell's strength from when they were in the hyperbolic time chamber, when he said that there would be no need to train that much for the next 9 days. I think me and Gohan have got enough power. What? You've lost your mind, Vegeta said. Vegeta was very surprised if Vegeta decides to just go back to the hyperbolic time chamber, while Goku and the two Gohans decide to go down to see Chi-Chi again. But Future Gohan actually says that he wants to stay with Piccolo and train with him. Piccolo thought it was a good idea, so Piccolo decides to train with Future Gohan, trying to develop more skills and try to get stronger. They have a very interesting conversation. They get much stronger and they do a lot of sparring matches. And Piccolo was very hard on Gohan, but it does come in handy at the end. At the end of the day, it comes real in handy. After the 9 days has passed, the Cell Games have finally came. Goku, Gohan, and the Z Fighters are ready to fight the terrifying ultimate android by the name of Perfect Cell. Goku decides to go first and wants to fight the ultimate android. He goes into a form, his mastered Super Saiyan form, at full power. Goku decides to goes first and fights Cell, but then he feels that once the fight starts to progress and he's getting much slower and Cell is just much quicker than him, he decides to do something very surprising that nobody ever expected. It's your turn now, son. That son was to Gohan, the present Gohan. He said that he has seen a new power, an unhidden power When Goku was training with Gohan, he said that there was an unhidden power that Gohan displayed, and knew that Gohan was going to be the one that could defeat Cell. Everyone thought he was crazy, but Gohan said sure. So he was down to the battlefield, a pacifist, scared to fight. Nothing wrong with it, honestly.
Oh no!
Very scared to fight, but at the same time, he's ready for the new challenge. Even though Goku just threw him in there, Gohan starts to power up, and Gohan decides to power up and gets the upper hand, but he's not taking it serious, so Cell makes quick work of Gohan, and Gohan gets defeated very easily.
Eventually.
But when everyone thought that he was defeated, Gohan decides to get up and start fighting again. But since Cell believes that he wants to release Gohan's rage, and then finally Gohan's rage unleashes when his loved ones gets hurt by Cell Juniors, and the one that hit him so hard was his father getting hit, and even future Gohan barely even having the opportunity to fight back. Gohan finally unleashes his rage and becomes a Super Saiyan 2, a form beyond the Super Saiyan.
I wanna be a Super Saiyan! I wanna!
Now into Super Saiyan 2. His aura is full of electricity, and his hair changes shape. Cell is still sure that he's going to easily make quick work of Gohan, but Gohan didn't think so. He made very, very quick work of Cell and was actually about to finish him, but of course Gohan got too cocky and never finished it. And Gohan has to just watch as Cell tries to blow himself up. As now Goku puts his 2 fingers on his forehead, about to do his instant transmission. Goku is now about to sacrifice himself for the fate of the universe, to save Earth for his loved ones, even if it risked his own life. As Gohan just watches his father just leave like that, he screams for his dad in tears.
A few moments later.
And then he saw Cell come back, and he hits future Trunks. Vegeta was very devastated. He saw that his son has just been on the ground, has done everything for him, and all Vegeta did was just stand around and just push him around. Future Gohan saw future Trunks on the ground, coughing out blood. He was so scared. He was angry, about to unleash his strength. Very angry at Cell, so he runs at him. The 2 Gohans decide to run at Cell, and they do a bunch of ki blasts, and then they do a Kamehameha together, and it defeats Cell easily. The Earth has now been saved, thanks to the 2 Gohans and of course the Z Fighters. As the Cell arc has now ended, everybody gets transported to the hyperbolic time chamber, back to Kami's lookout, where everyone has now been healed, and Trunks gets brought back, and Android 18's bomb gets taken out by Krillin. Yep, cyber sex, terrible, I know.
He really did it. He actually risked every life on the planet just for cyber sex.
Future Gohan and the 2 Gohans are now the saviors of the universe. Goku couldn't be any more proud. But to conclude something, a couple days later, future Trunks and Gohan decides to go back to their timeline. Everyone says a farewell, and they transfer back to the timeline 20 years into the future.
Several bad puns later.
Trunks and Gohan have came back. It is now 20 years into the future now. Gohan and Trunks are now back at Capsule Corp as the city is in ruins, in destruction. As they see Bulma just sitting there having a cup of tea, future Trunks and Gohan appear at the door and say hello Bulma and hello Mom from both of the people. Bulma was happy to see both of them and that they survived, and they've become much stronger. Trunks' strength was a lot more recognizable. They were both about the same strength. They were told all their stories and experiences in the past. Future Gohan was so happy that he got to see his past self and got to meet his father again, Goku, but he ended up killing himself again. sacrificing himself for the fate of the universe. A couple minutes later, the radio goes on and they hear about the androids have attacked another city. Future Gohan powers up in rage and decides to run out as quickly as he can. Trunks decides to follow by, but Bulma says no and says to stay, but Trunks resists and says that it will be fine and that they can both beat the androids real easily from their newfound strength. Bulma only said, "Good luck to you two. See ya. Please come back alive." They now go to the battlefield where they see androids 17 and 18. Gohan is now super angry. He is now powered up to a Super Saiyan 2. He should be able to beat the androids now. A new power that he has developed, since the high potential of Gohan in general, he turned into a Super Saiyan 2 and 2v1 the androids, beat them both within a span of less than 5 minutes. History has now been restored. Peace has now been restored, but there was one more thing they needed to do. Some time has passed, and since the androids' defeat, buildings have now been rebuilt. Cities have now been rebuilt. There is now a new villain in the cosmos by the name of Cell. They wanted to defeat Cell real easily while he's still at his first form. Gohan and Trunks decide to do this, but Trunks wants to defeat Cell instead. They proceed to do it. After some time passed, they both become a lot stronger, but Trunks is still not a Super Saiyan 2 yet. But he will eventually. Trunks said, well, not in this timeline. We got much stronger and we will defeat you. The fight goes really well. They go to an open field and they both fight each other. They both fight to the death. But Cell was defeated very easily, overwhelmed. He tried to do a escape and try to do a Kamehameha, but Trunks and Gohan do a mistake and they defeat them easily. And it's over. History has now been restored. Their peace has now been restored. That will be the end of part 2. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. As always, go catch a vibe, and I'm out. Peace.